The film begins with Mitch Rapp, a happy young man, vacationing in Spain with his girlfriend, Katrina Harper. While she swims in the clear water, Mitch prepares a surprise. Excited, he takes out a ring and proposes, showing his deep love for her. Katrina happily accepts the proposal, and they kiss, dreaming of a bright future. Mitch goes to the bar for drinks, but gunfire suddenly erupts as terrorists attack. Shot in the leg, he struggles to reach Katrina, calling out her name. Katrina! Mitch watches in horror as Katrina is shot and killed before his eyes. 18 months later, he is consumed by rage and revenge. Disguised as a jihadist online, he hunts the terrorists, determined to find the one who killed her. Mitch's uncontrollable anger gets him expelled from gyms for hitting training partners too hard. At the shooting range, he draws attention by using full auto mode, unaware the CIA is watching him closely. One night, Mitch finally gets an invitation to join the terrorist group, drawing the attention of CIA Deputy Director Irene Kennedy. He travels to Libya, where masked men lead him to their secret base. When one removes his sunglasses, Mitch secretly hides a blade in his own. After being searched, Mitch is blindfolded and taken inside the compound. There he meets Al-Mansour, the terrorist leader who killed Katrina. As Mitch looks for a chance to escape, Al-Mansour is suddenly shot, and special forces storm in, killing the terrorists. Furious over Al-Mansour's death, Mitch stabs him repeatedly until soldiers pull him away. The CIA captures him and interrogates him for 30 days, uncovering his tragic past, including his parents' death. Deputy Director Kennedy monitors him closely and, on the final day, reflects on his boldness in taking down Al-Mansour and his network. Meanwhile, Mitch, filled with regret, knows they will never know what might have been. Other officials want Mitch imprisoned, but Kennedy sees his potential and offers him a place in the CIA. He refuses, intent on avenging Katrina his own way. Seeing his resolve, Kennedy gives him a choice: prison or working with her, and later discusses him with director Stanfield. Stanfield worries that Mitch's impulsive nature and defiance could endanger the Black Ops team, questioning his psychological stability. Kennedy argues he has the qualities of an agent, and Stanfield wishes her luck convincing Hurley. When reports of missing plutonium from a Russian facility emerged, Stanfield delayed action. Kennedy took Mitch to the Orion training center and told him about Hurley, a former SAAL who had served with her father. At a remote cabin, Hurley doubted bringing Mitch onto the team. Kennedy defended him, saying his civilian demeanor and lack of bad habits were exactly what they needed. After she left, Hurley confronted Mitch about why he was there. Unfazed, Mitch challenges Hurley to test his skills. Pretending not to care, Hurley sends an agent to escort him to his room. The next day in training, Hurley shows his own skills, then pairs Mitch with rookie Victor. Their sparring quickly turns into a real fight. Hurley warns the rookies that if captured, they will be ghosts, and death will be their only option. Meanwhile, at the Iranian embassy in London, Kennedy and Stanfield review intel showing the stolen plutonium headed for Iran. Iranian officials deny involvement, and Defense Secretary Barr insists they won't break the nuclear deal. The meeting ends without answers, but Stanfield, still suspicious, orders Kennedy to prepare the Orion team. Mitch and the other rookies face a tough virtual combat test designed to measure focus and determination. They must memorize the target's face, knowing that missing the target or harming innocents brings painful electric shocks. Kennedy watched as the simulation began. Hurley set Al-Mansour as the target, and Mitch fired but was shot. One by one, the rookies dropped from the pain. Despite Hurley's taunts, Mitch endured the shocks, kept firing, and stayed on his knees. In Poland, a tense deal takes place on a truck carrying stolen plutonium. As it nears completion, police intervene, but the buyer opens fire, killing both them and the seller before escaping in the chaos. At Orion, Hurley hears the news with concern. When the simulation ends, only Mitch and Victor remain. They enter a virtual store to find and eliminate the target, and Victor spots him first. Mitch helps eliminate the target and unexpectedly takes down a dangerous woman. Kennedy then calls Hurley for an update on the stolen plutonium. He shows her an image of the shooter, and she is shocked to recognize Ghost, an agent thought dead in a drone strike. With intel that Turkish arms dealer Hamdi Sharif is selling a nuclear trigger, Kennedy sees a chance to stop both threats. She sends the Orion team to Istanbul and requests Mitch's involvement. To prepare, Hurley calls Mitch to his office and reviews footage Mitch recorded in Spain. Angry, Mitch demands Hurley stop the video, but Hurley ignores him. In a tense clash, Mitch nearly gets choked before Hurley warns him not to let emotions take over. Soon after, Mitch, Victor, and Hurley arrive in Turkey and meet CIA agent Annika. Hurley briefs the team on Sharif and assigns Mitch to guard with Annika for the mission. They discreetly watch Sharif with his assistant. Acting impulsively, Mitch strays from the plan, bumps into the assistant, and knocks over a phone. Although Mitch's risky move brings valuable intel, Hurley scolds him for breaking the plan. Agents decrypt the phone and find details of Sharif's lunch meeting the next day. Hurley assigns Victor as lead, with Mitch and Anaka in support. The next day, Mitch and Anaka take positions across from the restaurant. When Sharif arrives with armed guards, Hurley forms a plan. He ambushes a lone soldier, drags him into an alley, and forces him at knife point to report a fake bombing. The other soldiers panic and flee, while Hurley knocks the soldier unconscious. With the path clear, Mitch and Victor enter the restaurant. Inside, Sharif gives car keys to the buyer, who recognizes Victor and kills him before turning on Mitch and the patrons. Mitch quickly alerts Hurley, but Victor is dead and Sharif has escaped. As Hurley considers giving up, Mitch sees Sharif fleeing and orders his assistant to follow. They track him to an apartment where Mitch breaks in but is chased by dogs. He escapes by trapping them in a car. Inside Sharif's apartment, bodyguards spot him, forcing Mitch to flee. After a brutal shootout, Mitch wins and storms into Sharif's room, taking him down and seizing his laptop. Back at the base, Hurley scolds him for disobeying orders. Just then, Kennedy arrives, sees a news report on Mitch, and firmly defends him as part of the team. They watch Ghost escape, leaving Hurley regretting training Mitch and vowing to stop him. With the nuclear trigger secured, they realize they need a physicist. From Sharif's laptop, they trace a $2 million transfer to Rome. There, Minister Bureau meets Ghost at a secure facility and reveals their plan to recruit the physicist. Anaka, Hurley, and Mitch arrive in Rome. Mitch seeks answers about Victor's death, but Hurley dismisses it as just part of the job. Anaka returns from the bank and tells them they'll be alerted once the physicist gets the payment. They track the physicist to a hotel, where Mitch and Anaka set up surveillance from the next room. While Mitch monitors the feed, Anaka distracts him, causing him to miss intruders entering and finding the camera. Chaos erupts, Mitch kills one attacker, but Anaka is captured. Outside, Hurley grows worried and goes in to check. Inside the hotel, Mitch and Anaka are held at gunpoint as Ghost demands Hurley's location. Hurley bursts in, opens fire, and Ghost escapes while Mitch and Anaka defeat the others. Hurley stops the fleeing physicist, and they take him to a secluded spot. When Mitch questions his identity, Hurley ignores him and instead pushes Mitch to find the bomb, ordering him to clean up and regroup. Later, Mitch and Anaka book a hotel room. As she tends his wounds, she urges him to rest and promises they'll pursue Ghost tomorrow. While she prepares a bath, Mitch questions her about Ghost and suspects she's an Iranian agent. Though she insists she's CIA and reminds him he said so earlier, Mitch stays suspicious and attacks her. Mitch forces Anaka underwater, demanding the truth, but she refuses. Later, she is interrogated and revealed to have ties to Iranian intelligence. Hurley then decides to confront her handler, Ashani, her uncle, and his old acquaintance. Ashani reveals that Minister Bureau and General Rostami hired Ghost to obtain nuclear material and share key intel. Ghost now seeks an Iranian physicist to replace the captive one. During the meeting, Ashani is killed, and Hurley is shot in the leg. Kennedy arrives at the safe house and learns of Ashani's death. Mitch tells Kennedy that Hurley was to meet Ashani and wants to pursue him, but she orders him back. As CIA agents take Annika away, Mitch seizes her phone and gives chase. He stops the car, knocks out the driver, and urgently tells Annika her handler is dead and Hurley captured. Hurley is trapped in a secret nuclear lab with his arm locked in a vise. Ghost confronts him, showing his scars and blaming Hurley for abandoning him, admitting he longed for his return. Hurley stands firm, reminding Ghost his reckless actions cost 10 agents' lives. Enraged, Ghost ties Hurley's hands overhead. Annika traces Bureau's phone, giving them a lead on Hurley. Desperate, Mitch hijacks a car and races to Bureau's hideout, while Ghost tortures Hurley for his team's location. When Hurley stays silent, Ghost tears off a fingernail and demands answers about the new agent. Hurley insists Mitch is better, enraging Ghost. He rips off another nail, shocks Hurley, then slashes his chest and burns it with a blowtorch, cursing the day he trusted Hurley and the U.S. Navy. Desperate, Hurley agrees to reveal Mitch's location. As Ghost nears, Hurley bites off part of his ear in defiance. When Bureau learns the bomb is activated, Ghost kills everyone present. Hurley begs for death, but Ghost has other plans. Ghost keeps Hurley alive to witness the fallout of his actions. Mitch and Annika slip inside with weapons ready, reaching a locked gate only she can open. Mitch gives her his gun and sends her ahead. As 3 armed men enter the tunnel, he climbs onto the ceiling to stay hidden. Annika enters the lab and finds Bureau dying, begging for help. Furious over her uncle's death, she shoots him, sparking panic. Meanwhile, Mitch speeds into the tunnel, kills 3 gunmen, and smashes through the gate. The crash sparks an explosion, triggering alarms and forcing Kennedy's team into action. Mitch finds Hurley, who warns him Ghost has started the nuclear countdown. As Mitch moves out, he sees Ghost holding a gun to Annika's head, beginning a tense standoff. In despair, Annika tells Mitch she wishes to see her family, then tries to kill herself with Ghost's gun. Shaken but resolute, Mitch keeps chasing, killing another thug. Ghost boards a boat, but Mitch leaps on, and the two clash in a brutal fight amid the stormy waves. Ghost mocks Mitch about his girlfriend's death, fueling their vicious fight. Meanwhile, a helicopter rescues Hurley, who contacts Kennedy. They realize Ghost plans to strike the 6th Fleet, which is warned and readies for the nuclear threat. Ghost mocks Mitch for failing to save Katrina, fueling their brutal fight. When Ghost attacks with a knife, Mitch grabs the blade and kills him in fury. Meanwhile, Hurley and Kennedy prepare to disable the boat, but realize Mitch has already taken command. Hurley refuses to leave Mitch behind and pilots the helicopter to him. He urges Mitch to drop the bomb into the sea as the Navy takes aim. At the last moment, Mitch releases the bomb and is pulled into the helicopter, escaping a massive explosion that leaves a giant crater. A huge mushroom cloud shakes the fleet, nearly crashing Hurley's helicopter before the pilot regains control. Mitch, weighed down by guilt, says Hurley should have left him, but Hurley insists he'll never abandon him. Weeks later, Mitch is in Dubai while Kennedy visits the recovering Hurley. On the news, General Rostami blames the CIA for the nuclear disaster and announces his run for Iran's presidency. Mitch's absence hints at a secret mission. As Rostami and his men enter an elevator, Mitch is already inside, waiting to confront them.